Let's play a game. Imagine I lost my memory today. Imagine I forgot all the physics, chemistry, biology, and English I know. Imagine I am back in SS3 and then I just realized that JAMB is exactly 30 days away. Most students in this situation would panic. They would buy 10 different textbooks, try to read everything, burn out in 1 week, and eventually end up scoring 180 in JAMB. That is the standard failure path. But if I had to do it again, if I had to replicate my 350 JAMB score with just 1 month of preparation, I would do things very differently. I wouldn't study hard. No, I would study dangerously. I would use a strategy so aggressive that it guarantees a 350 plus score, even if you are starting from zero today. This video is that strategy. I'm going to be breaking down my exact 30-day study plan, the routine, the strategy, the resources, and every single thing I would do to hack the exam. If you're watching this late, this is your last hope. Pay attention. Now let's start with day 1. The first thing I will do is to audit my resources. You don't have time for new school physics and modern biology when you just have 30 days to the exam. You cannot read 1,000 pages of your textbook in 30 days and retain the information. So what exactly am I going to do? I would switch immediately to average textbooks and past questions. For physics, I'm dropping the big textbook. I'm picking what? Either physics demystified or LAMLAD, right? You cannot use physics demystified for your JAMB preparation and fail. It's impossible. Now, for chemistry, I'm dropping the big new school chemistry and understanding chemistry. Remember, we have just 30 days, and I'm sticking with my LAMLAD chemistry, especially when it comes to organic chemistry. For biology, why should I still be studying modern biology when I just have 30 days? I'm sticking with explicit biology because it goes straight to the point. And then for English, I'm no longer going to be using the English tablet textbooks. That is what you should have done if you had time. But since you no longer have time, you are sticking with your A to Z of JAMB's use of English. The rule is simple. If the textbook explains the history of the atom with a lot of voluminous explanations, I skip it. I stick with what? Something that goes direct to the point and tackle it. I don't care about how the history came about. No, I care about the key persons that made contributions and calculations under that particular topic. In the last 30 days, we don't learn history, we learn scoring. Day 2 to 5, I'm no longer reading topics randomly. No, I'm applying the 80/20 rule. I know that 80% of what comes out in the exam comes from just 20% of the topics. I've made videos on these specific topics for physics and chemistry. Ensure you check them later on the channel. So instead of starting from chapter 1, I start from the high topics. I'm going to spend the first 3 days mastering organic chemistry, non-metals and metals and their compounds, genetics, ecology, modern physics, motion, and electricity. Why? Because these few topics I've mentioned guarantee what the major questions you are going to be seeing that particular day. So why not spend most of the time mastering those particular topics that you know will come out in your exam? It's as if you are giving the cheat sheet to your exam, because if you analyze your past questions, you are going to see that there is no year in the history of JAMB exams that you are not going to see questions from organic chemistry, that you are not going to see questions from modern physics, that you are not going to see questions from ecology, that you are not going to see questions from genetics. When it comes to JAMB biology, they love ecology a lot. So if you are writing biology, you should make sure you master ecology, because definitely you are going to see questions from that particular topic, and most students fail questions from here because they usually neglect it. Now for chemistry, the reason why I made mention of non-metals and their compounds, metals and their compounds, organic chemistry and the rest, if you master these particular topics, you know the basics of other chemical reactions that may be coming from other topics, so you can use applied knowledge to answer them. For physics, the reason why you need to master all these modern physics calculations and topics is that most students don't usually finish and complete their syllabus. So JAMB know that, and they're going to be giving you these particular topics as bonus or helping you that congratulations on finishing your JAMB syllabus, right? So ensure you master these particular set of questions. For in-depth review, I've made videos on them. Ensure you check my YouTube channel for those videos again. But then I wouldn't just read. I would reverse engineer, and that is the best thing you can do for yourself. I would open my past questions to that particular topic. Let's say organic chemistry. I'm going to solve all the particular questions under organic chemistry, and I would allow the past questions teach me the textbook. If I see a question on esterification I don't know, then I would open my textbook to read that specific paragraph, right? So this is 10 times faster than reading the whole and the entire chapter. Remember, you just have 30 days. Now let's talk about the schedule. If you have just 1 month left to your exam, you are no longer a student. No, you are a soldier. The days of studying for just 2 hours is over. You need to unlock the monk mode. Here is the exact timetable I would use. Right now, we start with 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. I call it the deep work block. Right, so you are going to be studying calculation subjects like physics or math. You remember, it's early in the morning, so your brain is still fresh. You have to eat the frog. Now from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. you can have your break and eat your breakfast. Okay, now from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. I call this the volume block. You either study biology or chemistry, because these are subjects that require deep reading and memorization. From 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. what you're going to do is that you're going to rest and sleep. Yes, you have to rest and sleep. Your brain needs to save the data you've consumed from 4 a.m. Now from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I call this the practice block. What are you going to do? It's either you study English or you drill past questions and train for speed. Then 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. you are going to review all what you did during the day and ask yourself, what did I get wrong while you were studying? You review those things to reinforce the knowledge. We take a break from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. you take a final CBT mock. This is roughly 10 to 12 hours of focused work. Is it brutal? Yes, but it's only for 30 days. You can sleep in May. But if you fail your JAMB in April, the sleep in May will not even be enjoyable for you. So you need to stay locked in. If I have just 1 month left to the exam, I'm going to be pouring in my energy into English. Why? Because English is the easiest subject to get a 90 over 100 in JAMB. Yet most students neglect it, right? A mistake in physics can be covered up by a 90 plus in your use of English. I'm going to be dedicating 1 hour every single day to studying my A to Z of JAMB use of English or studying the Lekki Headmaster novel, right? I'm going to be mastering my vowel and consonant sounds in oral English, and I would also ensure that I master things like idioms, synonyms, and antonyms of many words, right? You don't have to do too much. You can learn at least 3 words every single day by learning their pronunciation, right? Where the stress is, their synonyms and their antonyms. With that, you've covered a lot in English. If you neglect English, then you are planning to fail. Now, in the last 7 days, I would stop learning any new topic and I'm entering into what I call the simulation mode. Now, what exactly am I going to be doing in these 7 days? I'm going to be taking 3 full CBT mocks every single day. 1 in the morning, 1 at 2 p.m. and the last one in the night before I go to bed. After taking this full CBT mock of 2 hours and 180 questions, I'm going to go through all the questions I failed. I'm not interested in questions I got right. No, the most important things are the questions I failed. And why do I like knowing the questions I failed? It's better for me to fail now when it's not going to cost me anything. Failing in my bedroom, failing on my study table is not going to cost me anything, but failing in the exam is going to cost me a lot. So I'll take note of all the things I failed, pick my corrections on them, and there are some things that you may not find in your textbook that will be in those past questions. So this helps you to carry out a massive revision across physics, chemistry, biology, and English all at once. Instead of studying one full subject today, studying the next subject the other day. No, we have just 7 days. So you're carrying out a massive revision across all the subjects. 2 p.m. you do the same thing, and then let's say 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. you do the same thing again. Make sure you study each question you failed in detail, not just coming and saying, okay, I got this right. No, that's a very, very bad thing to do. Now you analyze each question. Take note, failing a question is your favorite freak. You analyze each question. Okay, this option, they say this option is correct. Why is this option the best choice? And why is it not the other option? Remember, when you're picking options in your CBT, you usually have two options that you prefer, that you think they may be right, but then eventually one becomes the best choice, right? So now you ask yourself, why is this option the best choice and why not the other? You study it intensively. Now, another very, very important thing you should know is what the other options. JAMB may not repeat past questions, right? But those other options, they may test things related to them. So you study each of the 4 options. If you can do this for all the questions you failed in physics, all the questions you failed in maths, all the questions you failed in English, all the questions you failed in biology, then you are an unstoppable academic weapon. So if you do this thing 3 days every single day, you are building momentum. You are not just knowing, but it's also helping you get used to the exam environment and the exam tension. Some students go into the CBT hall and then that's the first time they are being on a timer. That's a very, very bad thing to do. If you have a PC or you have a desktop, then you are very, very lucky. But even though you don't have that, you can still use your phone to practice CBT notes. You can use app like My School, Test Driller, O3 Schools, EduFit Brains. There are lots of CBT apps there you can practice with. Even if you don't have the money, you can take free tests on the My School website. Take note, this is not an advert. By simulating the hell week, I make the real exam feel like a walk in the park. Here is the truth. 30 days is short, yes, but 30 days is also equal to 720 hours. If you can make use of every single of those hours with this exact strategy that I've given you, then definitely you are going to outperform every other person who have been reading lazily for over a year now. Remember, it's not how far or how long you've started to study, but it's how well you've been studying and making use of the right systems. It's going to be painful. Yes, you would want to quit, but remember the exact reason why you started. Remember and imagine yourself with that admission letter. Remember that white coat or that lab coat. Remember being called a doctor, a nurse, an engineer. If you are ready to take this 30 days challenge, comment "I will not give up." Let's mark this date. Right? Don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video to other students who are writing JAMB and will also need it. Now, close your phone and go study. I'll see you at the top.